Alright, now we're live. Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Raid Ghost, and today with me here is Trooper-JJH. And right now, we are going to be doing an interview, hopefully about one of his stories, Till All Are One. No, wait. Still We Are One. Oh boy, I'm already screwing up again. Let's just get this over with. So let's start off with the first question. Number one, Trooper, what inspired you to take up writing?
Particularly just the fact that I didn't have any stories that I liked to read, so I just decided to write something that I would like to read for once.
Really?
Yeah, that was it. That usually covers it when people ask me that particular question, because believe me, I'm no actual writer.
No, no, I suppose no, most of us aren't. I guess that really kind of goes up to your whole philosophy then, huh?
Yeah, I mostly just write a book for myself. If people want to read it and enjoy it or hate it, they are more than happy to.
All right. Next question. Um, what was your favorite book to work on?
Well, starting out, I'm assuming you already know that I got actually a couple books.
Yeah.
And starting out, it was a book called The Dragon Heart that I had, but I scrapped that and redid it. So now I would have to say my favorite would be Till We Are One,
Hmm.
given the amount of popularity that has.
Okay. Well, since we're on that little topic, number four. How did you come up with the characters? Oh wait, no, wait, that's number three. That's I skipped number three. Um, I suppose what is your favorite chapter you've written so far?
Hmm. Oh, there's a couple. I don't really have a particular one to say. That's kind of hard to pick. Uh, I would have to say probably either chapters 12 or 22 because those were either a battle scene or an infiltration scene.
Hmm.
And what what drives me crazy a lot is people don't realize that I'm actually in the military, and a lot of people are trying to like figure out like certain terms I'm using, which they don't realize are actual terms that I've picked up in the military for like naming certain things or calling out certain things.
Hmm. I imagine.
Especially the previous chapter when I had prisoners chanting certain things like ooh and hoorah. A lot of comments on the book were asking me what that means, and you had certain other comments who were clearly military, like Marines and Army, saying, yeah, that's a reference to us.
I know there's like a difference between oorah and hoorah.
Kind of it. You're supposed to yell it, and I don't think the listeners would want me to scream into my mic right now.
Hmm.
It's supposed to inspire you to like get motivated.
Yeah. Would you say that there's anything that your readers would be able to pick up on a first glance or no?
Well, I mean, a couple of them did because I'm a nerd at heart. So some people have picked up like different references to like other books or movies that I've seen in the past. Especially my friends like yourself who read my books. I know for a fact y'all picked up on several quaint little funny references I've thrown in there a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact one of the favorites from the first chapter was when the main character, or one of the main characters, Shadow, references when he's getting interrogated. You hear him make a reference of saying we Trojans are pretty. What was I? Oh yeah, the word I used was pretty resourceful. Some people didn't catch it, but a lot of people picked up the fact that I was referring to the Trojan horse incident in ancient Greece.
I mean, I feel like that's probably one of the best best references to make. I mean, most people would know the horse incident if they ever paid attention in history class.
Yeah, you'd be
That
surprised how people don't actually pay attention in school these days.
yeah, it just really does be like that sometimes. Me, I was a really big history nerd, so you know, whenever my teacher wasn't just whenever my teacher was going a little bit slow, I was kind of just reading ahead of everyone else.
Yeah,
But
that's about what I do.
say that
That's what I about did too, pretty
again.
much.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Number 4. How did you come up with the characters?
That that's funny. That's fun because unlike of most books that I've read in the past, you usually have like one character that they focus on. While me, I have apparently, according to some other big time writers on Wattpad and the other websites I post my story, I've somehow made it to where every single character is important, like feels important. So like for the human team, you have the leader, the sniper, the medic, the mech pilot. He's the fun one. And you have the two other guys who are semi mentally unstable.
Semi mentally unstable. Well, I suppose as long as they're doing their job, I suppose they can be considered semi mentally unstable.
Be
Certainly,
surprised.
certainly
But
more stable than most characters I've read.
yeah, ain't that the fact? But like the idea for the characters was actually is a semi inside joke because a lot of people don't realize this. Because if you look at, I gotta pull it up here. If you look at the first chapter or the first like page of Till We Are One, you'll actually see on the very bottom. I don't think a lot of people actually like picked up on this, but if you actually read on the bottom, you'll say a big shout out, and it'll have a bunch of little names. That's because those names are other writers who I'm friends with who wanted to be in my book. So they actually gave me like a little rough draft of their characters that they wanted, and I brought their character to life.
Hmm.
And for the Anthros, I just found a compatible partner for each of them
Yeah.
that either plays on them or annoys them.
uh,
But no, trying to balance all those characters at once, that's a real challenge. But hey, at least I get my word count in real fast.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose that would make the word count go up pretty fast.
You'd be surprised what happens when you're trying to juggle like 12 characters in one chapter. You'd be surprised how fast that word count goes from like 200 to 1,000 real fast.
Yeah. Well, I certainly have that problem where it's not even I have problems with just one character, with just writing just one character's perspective. But uh, I don't know. With me, I try to keep it, you know, a relative number. Like I say, I'm gonna write only only 5,000 words for this chapter, and you'd be surprised how 5,000 words turn into 9,000 pretty quick.
Yep, that happens for me too.
Now, on to the fifth question. What was your favorite character make, and what was your least favorite?
Uh, well, if we're just sticking with Till We Are One, um, that would be my favorite is two characters, to be honest. They are Shadow and an anthro named Abby. No, actually, not Abby. Shadow and a boy character named Matthew. They're funny. Shadow is the leader of Hound Squadron, or the main human squad. Ironically, he's also my character in the book, because yes, I actually did the cheesy artist thing and actually wrote myself into my own story. Which a lot of people haven't picked up on. And it's funny because at the start of the book as well, I made a little game for my readers. There is little asterisks beside certain things Shadow says. And if you pay close attention, it's actually like little bits of information about myself personally.
Hmm. That is very interesting.
Yeah, but Matthew, because like a lot of times when I see like books like this, they either get too lighthearted and wholesome for a war story, or they just get too dark. But Matthew, this is a kid who lost his parents at the start of the war, so all sad and stuff. And then he gets found by the Anthro team, brought back to their base, and now he's like a little bridge for that gap. Where he makes, because when you talk about Shadow, he lost his whole family. So, when he talks, it's pretty dark. But when you see Matthew talk, he gets, he makes everything a little bit lighthearted and cute.
Mm.
So, they balance everything out pretty much.
That's one way to do it, I suppose.
Now, the most hated character of Till We Are One is, so far, a dragon character I made named Lucifer. He's the warden of a prison for the main Anthro villains. And let's just say he's not exactly the friendly type of person you want to come across. Very cold, bloodthirsty, ruthless, genocidal.
I imagine that. So what would you say would be like? He's your least favorite to work on?
So he's the easiest. You'd be surprised how easy it is to work on like a villain character than it is a good character, like who has good morals.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, because all you have to do is, for me, all you have to do is like let the dark side of you come out when you're writing him, and just vent pretty much through this character. and then you switch over to someone who's like a noble fighter like Shadow, and you're like, frick.
Yeah. I can definitely say that I have somewhat of a problem with that in my Madness comeback story, even though he hasn't showed up yet. I've talked about Jeremiah a couple of times, right? Right?
Yeah, you have a couple times.
Yeah, lock up with him. Oh man, I can't wait for my readers to react to him. He might be the most fun that I've had to speculate writing about him. Mainly because of how crazy he is, but also because how in love he loves being, well, evil, I suppose. Or just him being
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, that's the same for the guy who's Lucifer. Ironically, his name is actual Lucifer, and people are like, they keep calling me and talking to me, and they message me and they're like, wait, why is most of your like really bad villains named Lucifer or a form of Satan?
I don't know, probably symbolism.
Yeah, I just look at them and go, well, I'm religious, so you can probably figure out which religion really fast. And they go, oh.
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
Yeah, but now if you wanted to talk about my most hated character of them all, to like wrap around your question, you would actually not find him in Till We Are One at all.
Hmm.
You would find him in a book in my only completed book right now, like my whole book, not the short stories. Oh crap! What was his name? Frick! I completed that book like 2 years ago. I got to look up his name. It's been so long since I've seen him. But pretty much this particular character, this book is called Our Wolf Family.
Oh, I think I remember seeing that one actually.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't realize it, but let's see, where the hell was that sucker's name at? So Our Wolf Family is about a group of children that during a storm, ghouls attack their cabin, and pretty much when they attack their cabin, Napoleon, that was his name, Napoleon. Um, they get, the parents get killed fighting and protecting the kids, and the kids, of course, have to flee into the woods, and they run into a giant, like a 12-foot wolf who adopts them. But what the kids don't know is the ghoul boss, he still wants to kill the kids, so he's like constantly hunting them.
Mm.
Now, you talk about dark character. Yeah, that's one of the darkest characters I've ever dang written.
Ah.
Because that motherfucker didn't have any morals except for I want to kill you, I want to eat you, and I want to watch you bleed.
Yeah, I can see how that might be that might be a problem to work with.
Yeah, I was actually kind of. It was actually kind of funny because when I finally wrote him getting killed off, I was actually like super relieved. I was like, oh, thank goodness, I don't have to talk about this motherfucker anymore.
Yeah.
If you hear my phone going off, that's my unit. They're trying to do a funny little thing, but eh. Yeah, that's the most hated question, but or a hated character, I guess.
Interesting.
Like I said, it's pretty easy for me to write like really dark villainous characters.
Just add. Okay, on to the next question. Number 6. not really sure how to go about this question. How did you make the book? Um, just use any one of your books to make that to answer that question. Really.
Well, like it's kind of funny because I combined a bunch of books. What people don't realize for me is I loved it. I loved listening to this, or loved reading this particular comment from somebody. Um, he commented on both Till We Are One, or no, he commented on Till We Are One, Dragonheart, and Our Wolf Family. And he said, you didn't stick with one genre, you picked multiple.
I are we uh, are we not allowed to do that? I feel like I
Apparently not. Apparently we're not allowed to do that because it's supposed to be like horror book, romance book, war book, yada yada yada. But like
I don't know.
for if you look, it's so funny because if you look at like Dragonheart, if you look at Dragonheart, the actual bio tells where I got this. It also shows how big of a nerd I am. It also shows how old I am.
Mm, yeah.
Because you get multiple references of like D&D of words like paladin, dragons, and then you literally will just scroll down a little bit more, and it will say that I've collected this book from a lot of different references: D&D, Lord of the Rings, World of Warcraft, and it shows. When it comes to Till We Are One, inspiration like Man of the Beast World, that was a fun one, by Gilly Camo, if anybody wants to look that guy up.
Pretty sure everyone knows who Gilly Camo is at this point. At this point, in
Yeah,
some shape or form.
yeah, or at least you've heard of him. But combining like a Doomsday, because like sure, most of the books are like okay, cool. Most of the books I've read with when it comes to this type of story, it's always the same thing. Even with like Gilly was the first, and everybody just copied him,
I feel like
which
he
kind of
wasn't the first, but he was the first one to make it popular.
yeah, I guess you could say it like that. But like it was the same thing. Like almost about 99 or 90% of humanity's dead, and the Anthros are taking over. The Anthros are fighting the humans, and then halfway through the story, it all changes, and a group of Anthros are like, okay, we actually want the humans to live, and the other half's like, nah, kill them all.
I feel like most of them don't even do it like halfway. They just do it at the start. They just do it at the start.
Yeah, there was another book. He's still on Wattpad unless they kicked him off because I'm already assuming you're aware of the craziness of Wattpad right now, or the unpredictable.
Yeah, I am well aware. That's why I have a backup site ready to post my stories.
I already do. I'm already slowly like moving my books. But there's this guy called One J Kutz.
One Jacobs? It's interesting.
Yeah. But no, he did it. He did it like that too. Where at the start of the war, at the start of the book, the Anthros realized, hey, we effed up. Like, and we shouldn't have killed all the humans. And basically, the entire story is like them trying to own up for their sins. But me, when it came to that, I said, all right, for this story, I'm going to have it to where at the start, it was Anthro versus Anthro, and the humans were just unfortunately caught in the middle. And at first, they thought the humans were dead, but slowly everyone realized they ain't all dead, and they're actually stronger than ever. because if you pay attention when you're reading it, you would notice that the Anthros, they're taller, stronger, faster, how they
Yeah.
usually are. Yeah. But the humans, I gave them an edge. They're more sneaky, and they have more advanced technology to, even the playing field.
Mm.
And now, the start of the book, it's funny how I transitioned it. The start of the book was, it went from Anthros and Anthros fighting each other and humans trying to survive to now a group of Anthros is trying to recruit the humans. And every time the humans get involved, they kind of kick rear end.
Right.
So, yeah, now the book's like that. Pretty much. But yeah, it just evolves how it goes. Because again, I also do like kind of a realism thing. Yeah, I know it's weird to say it for the type of book I write. But no, there's like some like realism, like if this happens, then this would happen. Or like a domino effect, pretty much, where if this one character does this, then later down the road, that action will actually come to bite them in the rear end. So,
Huh. I've been noticing that with with your story.
it's kind of funny because I know a lot of people, they actually enjoy watching like the characters' actions like come around, come around last second and bite them in the rear end.
Hmm. Yeah. Ain't that the truth? Now, let's get on to the next question. Um, is there anything that you want to improve on?
It's like to say everything. Everything. That would probably be the actual answer there. But now right now I'm just trying to improve on extending my chapters because as I read them, I realize even after I publish them, I'm like, yeah, I could have added so much more to that. But it's already too late because I've already posted it. So yeah, just really increasing the word count and maybe maybe learning how to go in more depth because I'm always trying to pick up tips and tricks from other people, like make my world come alive
Yeah.
in a matter of sense.
So, what would you say are your plans to make it come more alive? I suppose.
Well, a lot of people have been picking up on the fact of there's two big things that everyone's picking up on is that one, there's something up with they're picking up that there's a connection, which of course I don't want to ruin it for people who are listening right now. Um, there is a connection between Shadow and Matthew.
I'm pretty sure that's. I'm pretty sure it's obvious. I'm pretty sure it's an obvious thing.
Yeah, especially after the last little thing I dropped.
I feel like it was obvious in like the second chapter, like who he what. I think it was obvious, like right up until. Oh, for ignore that. I feel like it was
But yeah,
obvious who it was.
but yeah, it was pretty obvious. Sealed the fate. Everyone started freaking out. They're like, "Oh my goodness, he's him." And I'm like, "Yep, pretty much." uh, but like, it's just slowly progressing and progressing about how the Anthros are trying so hard to work with the humans to try and like gain their trust, so that the humans would fight for them instead of like the humans retreating and going back underground until the war just ends so they can just come back and clean up the survivors.
Which might not be the best of ideas. Could put them in a catch-22. Possibly. I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah, you say that, but every time it's funny how certain people like read the book and then like you'll just see like 2 or 3 of the enemy anthros, or the I should just say the terrorists. The terrorists like engage humans, and the human just dogs on them because at this point in the war, they are overconfident in themselves, but they don't realize that most of the humans that get deployed to like back out into the world, they don't realize that these are the special forces, top dogs. So, But no, like improving the story wise. Later on this year, since I'm assuming you already know, 2025 sucked for everybody.
Oh boy, yeah, we all know that one.
That one posted like 3 chapters this year, which I'm greatly apologetic for. But
At least you actually posted a full chapter, not like half a chapter like me. Ugh.
But no, like the story's going to progress more, and people are going to see more and more of character in depth, and even some other relationships like come to tuition.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's about it. That's like all the plans I have for that right now. And it's also funny how the stories that I don't have like or can't like extend upon, instead of that, you'll literally just see me turn into a short story
Hmm.
and just say, frick it.
All right. So, question number 8: are there any future projects you want to work on?
Oh yeah, I got a couple of them. There's the most obvious one, which I've hinted to, or like hinted about pretty much, is with my short story projects coming up. It's mostly just say like a Transformers fanfic coming up, where I actually put like a little twist, fun little twist on a certain Decepticon character. That usually I might spoil it by just saying her. Yeah, her. This particular female Decepticon, most of the time scared. Like actually, if like
I
when
feel
she
like
came out,
if you just say the continuity, you'll narrow it down and they'll just put the pieces together.
Oh, with that, it's my favorite Transformers animated show, Transformers Prime.
Ah, yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
only like one female Decepticon, so they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out
yeah.
pretty fast.
That particular one, not gonna lie, when I was younger and I was watching that, she actually played. I'll probably give her away right now. She played on my fear of arachnophobia because I do not like giant spiders at all. You can ask my family.
Mm, I don't think.
Yeah, but she in the episode she came like she was screamed for the first time. That actually freaked me the frick out. I was like, I gotta write a story about her.
It could have been worse. I mean, you could have been like me and you watched a movie that's literally named Arachnophobia.
I actually watched that. Ironically, it's funny because when it comes to giant spiders, yeah, in the in the fake world, yeah, most of the time I will be like, like depending on the movie, I'll just look at it and go, okay, I can deal with that.
Yeah, but like actual spiders, like Jesus Christ,
Yeah, if I
that
see
movie made me afraid of spiders. Which you know what? Fair enough. I mean, the movie is called Arachnophobia, so you're bound to be afraid of spiders if you watch it. Oh man, that movie did not do me any favors as a child.
yeah, well, it's kind of funny. One of my favorite arachnid movies is I'm not sure if you noticed or read it because it was a small. It was only a one-time gig. It was called Eight-Legged Freaks.
I I think I've heard of that actually. I think I've heard of that. I don't think I've ever.
It was like in 2005. If you watch it, the CGI for the spiders is you could tell that the mother trucker was trying with such a low budget. But
Yeah, it sounds.
watching that movie, I was actually laughing the entire time because they actually made the spiders so squeaky. Like when instead of like hissing or clicking, the spiders would make little squeaky noises,
Oh
and I
God.
couldn't stop laughing trying to watch this movie. But no, for future project wise, yeah, that the Transformers one is definitely one. I've had multiple people request certain books be written, but yeah, I'm very picky.
You're very picky about
'Cause-
what you want to do.
well, yeah, because like I have a standard to write. A lot of people have realized that, and a lot of the requests I get for certain stories are,
Not your cup of tea.
well, let's just say if I released this particular, like some of the ideas that these people want, uh, I guarantee a lot of my fans or a lot of my readers would probably be like, "What the frick?"
Hmm.
And I might lose a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep. So just to stay on the safe side, I just looked at them. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Probably for the best.
But you can definitely learn a lot about certain people when they when they tell you what kind of story they want.
I suppose so.
Speaking of speaking of giant spiders, my brother's actually sending me little jump scare memes of giant spiders right now as we speak. So yeah, little rat. So would that satisfy the future question there?
Yep, I'd say that satisfies the future question. Now, I actually didn't think we'd get it through it so fast, but question number 9, final question. Do you have any books that you'd recommend to your readers?
I've got a couple actually.
Hmm.
There is a writer. Now he doesn't post the books on well he posts like a little snippet, like a few chapters of it on Wattpad, but unfortunate or not really unfortunately, you'll have to buy like the whole book on Amazon.
Are you talking about Algorithm or
Yeah. Actually, how you pronounce it is Ulrich
Ulrich?
because it's North.
I always thought I was pronouncing it wrong. Ulrich.
Oh no, I thought so too until one day he told me, which was funny because I sat there and I just listened to him. And he's like, "Yeah, it's actually Ulrich," and I was like, "Oh, oops." But no, he was actually pretty chill about it. Yeah, he's got some great romance action books, and his horror book is also if you actually want to like not go to sleep at night, you read that sucker.
Mm.
It's called Fearful and the Guardian. Basically, where a Wendigo, or for your other listeners, a Skinwalker, basically takes a liking to a certain young man and starts following him around.
Huh.
Like semi protecting him, but the kid doesn't realize who it is. The next thing you know, people in his life mysteriously start disappearing, or they just have very bad hallucinations and interactions with this thing.
So a
And
cryptid is now doing a yandere stalking.
oh no, not Yandere. Like it doesn't like love him. It's just fond of him.
Oh boy.
In a way. And it's funny because in the story, the crazy grandmother of the dude's family, she sees it and she's like, "Oh frick." But the other family, just thinks, "Oh, she's crazy. Grandma's crazy again."
Oh yes, of course. The crazy one sees it and no one believes them. Or
Yeah. So they yeah, it's funny when I read that and I'm just sitting there going, "Yo, would you mother truckers listen to the dang grandma for a minute?" It's like grandma's trying to save your life. Shut up and listen. But no, well, obviously, you got a fun little Air Force book.
yeah.
Which
Well, it's
is a lot
basically
better.
Ace Combat
Yeah,
at this point.
yeah. Well, I played his combat, so it was fun. But man, that's pretty much about it. There's a lot of good guys on Wattpad. Now, the the fact though that Wattpad is doing this bullcrap thing, is kicking us off left and right for very stupid reasons. There's a bunch of other sites to go to, like writers.com, Fur Infinity.
Actually, I don't think I've actually heard of Writers.com. Writers.com. I think
It's it's like just only like small time readers or writers.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, honestly, because of that thing. If you know what I mean, when it comes to censor certain books, you put it in the right right age. You shouldn't have to worry about logging online and all of a sudden your book just poof. Yeah, goes missing. Yeah, but that's about it. Because Ulrich and me are good friends, and reading his books, they're just fun. And I believe on Amazon, they're only like $5 to $10, so it's not like you're spending an arm and a leg. And of course, if you want, there are a bunch of other little, short stories. If y'all don't like big stories, I know for a fact that there are a bunch of authors that I definitely cannot pronounce the names of because these motherfuckers either pick some Norse, Greek, or names that I can't pronounce because I'm a stupid redneck from the backwoods of Tennessee. But now there's a bunch of great people on Wattpad to just look up.
I didn't know Amazon. Oh, well, that's interesting. Amazon original publishing writing. Huh.
Let me guess, you found them?
Yeah, more or less just looking for other sites that people post their stuff with. Huh.
The only one site though I will tell people to stay away from is I'm assuming a lot of people have probably already heard of it. It's called DeviantArt.
Look, everyone knows what DeviantArt is at this point. It's a that one. It's a pick your It's a pick your poison. It's not really a writing community. It's more or less an art community. But yeah.
But yeah, like I ironically, that's where I started reading certain books for
Really?
certain genres.
That was your first
Yeah.
mistake.
Oh yeah, that was my first mistake because like at first there was this great what was it? Oh, there was this great war book, like war little series that some guy was writing, which was actually really fun. But unfortunately, he left that website because of particular reasons. But the what is it? Yeah, it's just gone downhill and more and more just how should I say this nicely? Because I'm sure you've known me long enough to figure out I don't curse or try and use it.
Do we want to say slop, or do we want to say? Oh, we want.
I
to
would
say
say slop and smut books or writers have just been flooding that website, and it's absolutely terrible. Like no originality, no depth. It's just people abusing the fact that there's barely any censorship on that site. But I did actually just remember one guy who... Oh, come on, you stupid website. Let me log in, please. Here it is. Now, this individual I read on For Infinity, and he's actually well, first off, he's safe. I know that for a fact. He's safe, and he's actually got pretty good, good writing style or sense of writing. I'm not sure if you heard of him. Have you heard of a writer called Hertz? At all? Have you heard about that guy?
What'd you say his name was again?
Let me pull it up real quick. I just found him again. Here it is. Oh, mother trucker, he changed his name. Now it's Sarah. Sarya.
Seraph.
Yeah, it's on For Infinity. And if you look at his book, before. I don't care if before you realize that the last post this person made was 5 years ago. Yeah, well, um, the story he wrote, it's all of his stories are like perfect for people. It's based off. He basically made it to where Earth gets invaded by basically like an entire alien race of Godzilla.
Wait, wait, wait. I know this guy, and I think you even based off one of your short stories off of him, off of his books.
Kind of, yeah, because if you pay attention, the fan art for the kangaroo and her human, the kangaroo, which ironically I didn't realize until it was too late that it was actually a mouse. So, oops. But the kangaroo is from his genre. But if you want to read if you want to read a story or recommend artist, I highly recommend that guy because his chapters are pretty decently long, and they are very well written. So, yeah, that's probably a good writer to start.
I don't really have any other questions as of this moment. Really should probably bump that up to 10 at this point, but is there anything else you'd like to let your readers know, I suppose?
Yeah, the only thing, if I doubt many of my readers are here right now, but if they do find your lovely channel, which interesting gameplay, by the way. Yes, I've seen your last uploads, and it's quite entertaining. The only thing is there's definitely going to be more chapters coming up for this year due to the fact that my life, both my relationship with my girlfriend, has calmed down, and the military is finally, at least my unit, has gotten their head on straight. So I can actually, I can actually enjoy myself, and the fact that the government and the world seems to be in a okay area. I'll definitely be writing more and uploading more. And also, just for laughs and giggles, if anybody does want to game with me or play games with me, I can send, if you look on Wattpad, you will find a link to my Discord. And also, you also find my gamer tag. So if you want to play games with me, I'm really open to everything, as I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah, this guy plays grounded for the most part, though.
Yeah, the guy who's terrified of spiders plays a game where there's literally a arachnophobia warning when you turn on the game.
That's how you know you're in for the good stuff.
Well, I mean, at least it's not as bad as other certain games I've played in the past.
Could be worse. You could be playing Earth Defense Force.
I did, actually. And first off, that game actually destroyed, like, made my first graphics card explode.
Oh,
because it couldn't keep up. Russian Bastard was not kidding when he said his graphics card was getting hot.
Yeah, that's... I played it on my PlayStation 4, and it was like, what was it? 4.1, the new Despair. And, granted, it's old technology, but it's like... it's just the sheer amount of stuff that the game throws at you is just so. Oh man, yeah.
To sum it up, for those of you who don't know, as a famous Russian badger quote, for the majority of the weapons found in that game, um, is there a radius or a kill box? Yes. How big is it? Yes. But no, I tend to play a little bit of everything. Mostly first-person shooters. I honestly, I'm also going to start uploading certain clips that I play with, especially on Battlefield 6. Shout out to all my Battlefield veterans, because I've been playing since Battlefield 3. Yeah, I've been known to be that one sniper that everyone hates, that sits on the opposite side of the map and still able to get your rear end on the other side. Yeah, if anybody here wants to start playing with me, just join my Discord, hook up, and DM me. I'm literally open. Just know that I might take a minute to respond because, again, I do work in the military. And we don't exactly have set hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think I've kind of covered everything. Everything here. That will be it.
Well, thanks for having me, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Look forward to seeing who else you can pull on this interesting channel of yours.
Oh, trust me, it will certainly be interesting. And cut.